Welcome to Vintage SF. I'm Richard Rempel. Today I want to talk about a cover artist, Szafran. 12 reprints of Robert A. Heinlein's books were printed in 1970s with Szafran covers. This made this series of reprints very collectible. It's a little windy out there, so let's try again. Welcome to Vintage SF. I'm Richard Rempel. Today I want to talk about cover artist Szafran. I first came across his work when I purchased Star of the Unborn. And then I started to realize I've seen his cover art before. In the early 1970s, Signet Books did a reprint of many of Heinlein's most famous 1950s novels. There were 12 books in all, and each one had a Szafran cover. This was about the same time as Leo and Diane Dillon were creating covers for the Ace Science Fiction Specials Series 1. Their covers drew me into the series, and eventually I read the entire series. I discovered many wonderful authors in that series, and the editor, Terry Carr, was awesome. His skill at finding and identifying new SF talent is unparalleled in my mind. From those Ace Science Fiction Specials, you might notice that when it comes to the design for these books, that it is very similar. There is a banner across the top with the author's name. In the Ace Science Fiction Specials, they also had the title of the book, but we have that within the picture here. And the picture dominates about 3/4 of the page. Szafran's art is very colorful. There's geometrics to it as well, and yet there is some sort of a psychedelic feel too. I love the use of color. It's just a vibrant image that makes you want to pick up the book and take a look at it. As I said, Signet reprinted 12 Heinlein novels from the 1950s, and there are 12 covers by Szafran. I've created a checklist of these covers for you, a visual checklist. Now I consider this to be a wonderful series of art, but for the sake of YouTube and getting it out there to as many people as possible, I'm just going to pixelate a couple pictures here. If you want to see the unpixelated picture, they're out there on the internet. And also you can go to the description for this video and you will find that visual checklist. It's a download from Google Drive. So first we're going to talk a little bit about Szafran, and then there'll be a slideshow of his work in this series of books. Szafran, April 11th, 1941 to January 8th, 2011. He was an American artist, illustrator, and sculptor. He was known for illustrations in magazines including Playboy and Fortune, and cover art for science fiction books published by Bantam and Ballantine during the 1960s to 80s, including a series of Signet paperbacks of Robert A. Heinlein's work. Szafran studied at the College for Creative Studies and Society of Arts and Crafts in Detroit, where he later taught, and was also an art instructor at the Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York. In the 1970s, he contracted multiple sclerosis, which devastated him, severely affecting his mobility and cutting short his career as an illustrator. You can find a bibliography of Szafran's prints at Glimmer Graphics Prints. There will be a link in the description to this video below. So let's take a look at the 12 covers for the Signet run of Robert A. Heinlein's reprints.